Hello everybody, Landa here, and today I will be ranking all 12 console Mario Party games. Now Mario Party, like Mario Kart, is one of my favorite Mario spin-off series there are. I've been playing it for a really long time, almost as much as Mario Kart, and I really enjoy just the concept of mixing both board game and video game aspects to create the ultimate party game. And I just think that the series, while it has its low parts, is generally a pretty good series, and I'm excited to start ranking these. But before we get into that, I do want to mention that I will only be including console Mario Party games, because the handheld ones, first off, I've barely played any of them, and then secondly, they're so weird and different from a lot of what Mario Party is, that it would be kind of hard to put them in the same list as the console ones, so I just decided to leave them off entirely and just focus on the console ones. Well, without further ado, let's get into this. Coming in at last place is going to be Mario Party 10. This Mario Party game uses a concept that was introduced in Mario Party 9 called the car concept, or whatever you want to call it, but basically, instead of each person individually traversing the board, everyone is in a vehicle and rolls the dice and tries to collect mini stars. This concept just fails to capture the chaotic fun of what Mario Party was. In addition to that, the boards themselves are also just bland and uninteresting. So overall, just not a very fun Mario Party game, in my opinion. Just barely above that is going to be its predecessor, Mario Party 9. This is the game that introduced the kart concept, and it basically has all the same issues as Mario Party 10. I'd say the one thing that makes this a little better is that the boards are a bit more memorable and interesting, but aside from that, it's basically the same thing. You're going around to get to the end of the board trying to get mini stars. It's just not Mario Party in my eyes. In at the number 10 spot, however, is Nintendo's attempt on going back to the old format, but I don't think it does very well, and I'm talking about Super Mario Party. This game, like I said, it tries to go back to every person moving around the board individually to collect stars. However, the way the gameplay is, it just doesn't work. The maps are tiny, and there's only 4 in the game. The only factor in this game that I actually find cool is that each character has their own unique dice block. That's a neat aspect, but other than that, it just is not all that interesting and fun. It was just not a good attempt at going back to the old format. Speaking of the old format, though, now we're finally getting into that with my number 9 spot, Mario Party 8. Mario Party 8 is a fairly solid game. Don't get me wrong, its placement down here doesn't mean it's a bad game. And I credit that mainly to the minigames just being very in my opinion. They use a lot of motion controls, which I'm not a big fan of personally. But, you know, it's just there. I think the boards are pretty decent. There's some cool gimmicky ones. Some not so good gimmicky ones, but still, there's a decent board selection. And overall, just a decent Mario Party game, but nothing to write home about. At the number 8 spot is the Mario Party game that started it all, Mario Party, just Mario Party, and this game it's good. It's a fun game. I had a lot of fun with it when I was younger. However, playing it more recently, I can definitely tell that its mechanics were a bit clunky, rough around the edges. They were still trying to figure out exactly how to create this, and I understand that, but still, I gotta put it down here just because I feel like a lot of future games just improved on the concepts that were brought with this game. Still, I do respect it for what it did in starting this franchise. Next up is a Mario Party game that actually at one point was my favorite, and this is Mario Party 5. This is a very solid Mario Party game, and it has some great minigames. However, I'd say the aspects where it isn't quite as memorable is the actual gameplay itself. I think the use of capsules was still being worked out. They hadn't gotten to orbs, which were just a much superior version. And the boards themselves were just alright. There was nothing too crazy going on with them. But the game did have a lot of side modes, and so I do enjoy that about it. I think it's a decent Mario Party for what it is, but over time I've realized that it isn't in the upper echelon of Mario Party games. Just above that is Mario Party 7, one of the first Mario Party games I played, actually. And this one, I think, is just really good. It has some gimmicky boards. I think it does them a little better than Mario Party 8 does. But then you also have some pretty fun minigames, and I think that it's got a pretty solid theme to it. It is kind of like a diet Mario Party 6 in a way, but I still enjoyed this game a lot. Still just a pretty solid game. Now we're breaking into the number 5. The top 5 are all great games, and at the number 5 spot is actually the newest of all the Mario Party games, Mario Party Superstars. Mario Party Superstars is what happens when Nintendo actually gets it right in recreating the old formula, because it actually uses boards from the N64 era and then minigames from throughout the eras, and adds its own mechanics, whether like the fortune spaces, for instance. Kind of mixes all this together to create a great Mario Party callback for fans to enjoy. I'd say the only real negative I have with it is that there are only 5 boards. I think this game could really do with more, and I hope they do add more in the future using DLC. Still great for what it is, though. In the number 4 spot is Mario Party 4. Fitting. And this game really is the transition between the N64 era and the GameCube era of Mario Party games, because you still have a lot of those aspects of the N64 era, like the item shop and Donkey Kong as a playable character. But then you also have some of the more GameCube era things starting to seep in, the gimmicks, so to speak, of the GameCube era. And also, it is on GameCube, so by itself, it is a GameCube game. So, I think it really does a good job at blending those two eras. I think it has a really good top 3 boards with Shy Guy's Jungle Jam, Toad's Midway Madness, and Goomba's Greedy Gala. As far as I'm concerned, it's a great Mario Party game, though. Taking home the bronze trophy, so to speak, is going to be Mario Party 6. I think this game does the best at combining the gimmicky aspects of the Mario Party boards and games as a whole, but still having a lot of the classic Mario Party feel to it also. 7 and 8 do a similar thing, but this game does it the best. And in addition to that, I think the day and night cycle really makes this game unique from the others. It's really just a neat addition that they added that gives this game its own character, and I appreciate that. So Mario Party 6 at the number 3 spot. Number 2 is going to go to Mario Party 3. This is possibly peak Mario Party gameplay. A lot of the features in the gameplay of it are they're great, well done in my eyes. But also, a big thing is the boards. I think this game has a great amount of good boards, which plays a big part in what makes a good Mario Party game. And similarly to Mario Party 5, this game has some interesting side modes, whether it be story mode or even the dual mode. Things like this, which are just, you don't see in every Mario Party game. And I think that's just a cool thing that they had in this game. A really great game, but just misses out on the number 1 spot due to... Alright, first place goes to none other than Mario Party 2. This is my personal favorite Mario Party game, and it's easy to see why, really, because all but one of the boards is amazing, and the gameplay on each one is phenomenal. I love the way that this game fixes a lot of the flaws of the first game so well, and it's only the second one in the series. Not only that, but this game has possibly the most character out of any of the Mario Party games. It's just fun to play. It's classic, and it's nostalgic to me. And all those go into its ranking here at number 1. Well, there you have it. There's my list ranking the 12 console Mario Party games. Feel free to leave your own ranking of the Mario Party games down in the comments. And until next time, see ya!